Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk to you about the tiger. Not this tiger, but this one. Ain't she a beauty? It was a tank that got me playing World of Tanks in the first place, and it was also the first heavy tank I unlocked back when the first heavy tank you could get for the Germans was the Tier 7. I remember my first game like it was yesterday. I played on the Lakeville map, hyped about my heavy tank, thinking it got tons of armor, rushed down to the town center. Well, let's just say my first game didn't last very long. But let's get back to the topic. The Tiger came to be once the Germans invaded the Soviets and realized that the tanks they had at the moment had problems getting through the armor of the sloped T-34 and the thick armor of the Ka-1. In a matter of fact, at the beginning of the Operation Barbarossa, the only gun that the Germans had that could penetrate the Ka-1 was the German Flak 88. So a bigger platform was needed to carry a more powerful gun, and so the Tiger was born. The production of the Tiger began in August 1942, initially at a rate of 25 per month, and peaking in April 1944. 1,355 had been built by August 1944, when production ceased and the Tiger 1 was replaced by the Tiger 2. Deployed Tigers peaked at 671 on July 1st, 1944. The Tiger was over-engineered. For example, it took about twice as long to build a Tiger as another German tank of the same time period. Specs in some more detail. First up, let's talk about the armor. The Tiger had 100mm of frontal hull armor, 100mm of frontal turret armor, with an additional 120mm thick gun mantlet. The side of the tank was 80mm thick, but also reinforced with thick hull side plates that were 60mm. While the turret sides and rear were only 80mm and the top and bottom of the tank were only 25mm. But from March 1944, the turret was reinforced to being 40mm thick at the top. The armor plates were mostly flat with interlocking construction. The armor joints were of high quality, being stamped and welded rather than riveted. Just to clarify why the welded armor was better than the riveted armor is one simple reason really. The riveted armor was held together by bolts, and when struck by a projectile, the bolts could snap and be practically shot around the inside of the tank, making it a lethal projectile. The tank was exceptionally well armored when it was introduced, but all that armor came at a price as well, making the tank 54 tons heavy. The Tiger's heavy weight significantly limited its use of bridges. That's the reason the Tiger came with watertight hatches and a snorkeling device that allowed it to cross water obstacles up to 4 meters deep. Also, driving through buildings was risky, because if the building had a cellar, it could hold a nasty surprise for the tank crew and a sudden drop. Let's talk about the gun next. The Tiger came equipped with a German 88 Kampfwagenkanone 36 L56. It was an 88mm electrically fired tank gun. The breech block was a vertical falling and operated semi-automatically, meaning that after firing, every empty cartridge or case was automatically ejected, while the breech cocked itself and remained open, ready to receive the next round. The KVK-36 was very accurate, high-powered, and its high muzzle velocity produced a very flat trajectory. This allowed its gunners a higher margin of error in estimating the range, both helping and being partially responsible for the gun's accuracy. The gun performed so well that it grew a fearsome reputation, and each time, well, maybe not each time, but a lot of the times when the Allies were fired upon, even if the Tiger was not in sight, they assumed it was a Tiger firing them and started screaming Tiger. The Tiger had 3 shell types to choose from, the first being the Panzergranate 39 or APCBC, or in easy terms, let's just call him armor-piercing ballistic cap. The projectile was 10.2 kilograms heavy, had a muzzle velocity of 773 meters a second, and an explosive failure of a little under 60 grams. Its penetration value was 132 millimeters at 100 meters, or 83 millimeters at 2000 meters. The second type the Tiger could use was the Panzergranate 40, or armor-piercing composite rigid. The APCR rounds had a tungsten core, a projectile weight of 7.3 kilograms, and a muzzle velocity of 930 meters a second. Its penetration value was 171 millimeters at 100 meters. The last type the Tiger could use was the HL-39 type, or Heat. The high explosive anti-tank ammo had a weight of 7.65 kilograms and a muzzle velocity of 600 meters per second. It had a penetration value of 90 millimeters, and I didn't list the distance because, as we all know, he doesn't lose penetration at distance, or for the matter of fact, as long as it travels. Last but not least, let's talk about the engine. The Tiger originally came with a 12-cylinder Maybach HL210 P45 engine that was developing 650 horsepower. Although a good engine, it was a bit underpowered for the vehicle, so from the 251st Tiger, it was replaced by the upgraded HL230 engine that was developing 700 horsepower at 3000 RPM. Early Tigers had a top speed of about 45 km per hour, over optimal terrain of course. This was not recommended for normal operations and was discouraged in training. An engine governor was later installed, capping the engine at 2600 RPM and the Tiger's maximum speed to about 38 km per hour. However, the medium tanks of the time, such as the Sherman or the T-34, had an average top speed of about 45 km per hour. Thus, despite Tiger being nearly twice as heavy, its speed was completely respectable. Now that we have all the technical details out of the way, let's talk about a little story. I'm talking about Otto Karius' attack on the village of Malinava. Otto Karius was a tank ace created for destroying over 150 tanks, mostly on the Eastern Front, and here is the most impressive story. On the 22nd of July 1944, Otto Karius, with his company of 8 Tigers, advanced to the village of Malinava in order to halt the Russian advance. Otto Karius and Albert Kirscher took a Kubelwagen in order to check if the village was already occupied by the Russians, and they discovered that it was. Karius recognized that the Russians in the village were only an advance troop waiting for the main force to arrive. He decided to recapture the village before the arrival of the reinforcements. Karius returned to his company for a briefing and explained his plan to take the village. He decided to attack the village using only 2 tanks because there was only one road leading into the village, and rushing all the Tigers would be dangerous. The other 6 Tigers remained as backup, while Karius and Kirscher's Tigers moved towards the village. Speed was the essence of Karius' strategy, and it was decisive to upset Russians and immobilize their tanks. When Karius' Tiger was about to enter the village, 2 T-34-85s were observed rotating their turrets. At that moment, Kirscher's Tiger, which followed Karius' at about 150 meters, fired and knocked them out. Also, the first time Otto Karius encountered the Russian latest, highest heavy tank, its silhouette was somewhat similar to the German King Tiger, and Karius refused at first, but after hesitating a bit, he fired and the eyes burst into flames. On a later date, Karius recalls that the entire battle did not last more than 20 minutes. In such a short time, Karius and Kirscher's Tigers knocked out 17 Russian tanks, including the new IS. Although the Russians were attacked by surprise, Karius' quick and accurate recognition of the situation and the excellent tactics he used were the main factor in its outcome. After the war ended, Karius returned home, where he opened a pharmacy called the Tiger, or in German, the Tiger Apotheke, where he remained. Karius died at the age of 93 on the 24th of January 2015. Of course, there were more Tiger races, and if you're interested, I highly recommend reading about Michel Wittmann and the Battle of Villers-Bocage in Normandy, but I don't want to make the video too long, so if you're interested, there you have it. And now for the fun part, to see how the tank performs in-game. Today's replay was brought to you by Kaita, I think that's how you pronounce the name, but further on, for the purpose of making it easy for me, I'm just going to call him Kaita. Well, he's playing on the map Ansk, and as you see, he's going the typical route to the city. Kaita has the fortune of being the top tier tank in this matchup. As you can see, not very many tanks of his team are going into the city. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Without trying to spoil too many things for you, but let's just say that the game doesn't really go well for the Kaita's team at the beginning. And someone spots the Cromwell. He's rushing through the side. Kaita takes a more or less snapshot, and here's the Cromwell, demonstrating how accurate the Tiger gun is. He decides to ignore the Cromwell and probably expects a little bit more opposition in the city, but well, nothing really shows up. There's a T-25 too spotted, but Kaita's a bit slow at seeing in person, which gave the T-25 an opportunity to slid by, but he then checks his minimap and sees him. Demonstrates once more how accurate the Tiger's gun is. The Tiger actually has a really great rate of fire on its gun, but sadly at this moment it was not good enough. The T-25-2 managed to get away. Let's see. The scores are now 1-5. There's still no really opposition in the city at the moment, so Kaita decided to push, maybe go for the RT. While the rest of the team is falling apart on the open side of the map. And it's 1-8 now. 1-9. I don't think Kaita is feeling too lucky at the moment with his team. He can really shoot at anything from this position. The buildings... Oh wait, KV2 appears and he downs the shot. Kaita returns fire, hitting him in the drive wheel, but the KV2 repairs. Kaita returns fire again, hitting the KV2 in the drive wheel, immobilizing him again. And while the KV2 is immobilized, he's putting another shot in, and the KV2 dragged, but the KV2 disappeared. Kaita third shot going a bit low, giving a chance for the KV2 to retreat and live to fight another day. The enemy team is starting to push into the town, more or less surrounding them. Kaita's not really still firing a shot, but this is his first kill. The KV2 reappears, shooting at Kaita, hitting his turret, and trying to back away. There's no place the KV2 can really hide here, and Kaita shows us again how accurate the gun is. Seeing an opportunity to take some more shots at the left flank, Kaita takes another shot, takes out one more time. But as well gets a return kit from the Stuke, that was the first damage hit received. The IQE yellows pass him, thinking... I don't know what he was thinking, he just yellowed. Dicker Max spots his chance to fire, but was a bit slow. Kaita side scrapes. At least tried to. Dicker Max was a bit slow on the turn fire, hitting Kaita's side, which is extremely low angle, and pays the price. A wild Hellcat appears, he's a bit slow on aiming, Kaita shoots him, but the Hellcat returns fire, damaging the Tiger, but Kaita tracked him. There goes the Hellcat. I think Kaita is still hugging the buildings a little bit, fearing the return fire of the RT, but there's another kill. Kaita's not really hearing that. Oh, and he's now alone versus 5 enemy tanks with almost half-age IS, which stupidly went out showing its side to Kaita, a Stuke that bounced the shot. And I have no idea what the M4 was trying to do here, but well, he's going to pay for this mistake with his life. This got a 7th kill. The Stuke tries to take another shot, but misses. The IS seeing his chance to maybe shoot the Kaita, but I have no idea what he was trying to do. The Tiger's reload is much better. Kaita had much more health. The Stuke still managed to penetrate Kaita, but as the Tiger has a lot of hit points, didn't really do much. First shot goes into the wall. The second shot, it's true, and Kaita will finish off the pillar. Only the Stuke remains, and the little bugger wasn't spotted throughout the entire game. I think the Stuke is not really feeling too lucky at the moment, and probably the rest of the enemy team are asking themselves, how can you fuck this up? And there goes Kaita's 10th kill. Now he just has to find the little bastard that was hiding to secure his victory. I can only assume Kaita thought that he was probably AFK, since he was an end, he is AFK. Kaita takes his time, aims, fires the first shot, fires the second shot, blind, and there goes. Victory. Let's take a look at the post-game stats. Kaito got an Ace Medal, unsurprisingly a High Caliber, a Top Gun, a Pulse Medal, a Steel Wall, and a Kolobanos Medal for standing alone against 5 enemies and still managing to win. Kaito practically damaged every enemy tank in this game. Over 4000 damage done, 1200 damage blocked, a nice, very nice profit of 52,000 credits. Not bad. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider leaving a like or subscribe. I would also like, since this is my first video, to if you could leave me constructive criticism of what I could do better, or maybe what tank, plane, or ship you would want to see next. See you later, guys.